Swarajya Samrajya Vibhutiresha Bhavat Kripa Shri Mahima Prasadat Prapta Maya Shri Gurave Mahatmani Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namastasmai Sadaikasmai Kasmai Chinmahase Namaha Yadetat Vishvarupena Rajate Guru Rajate Yadetat Vishvarupena Rajate Guru Rajate. Hari, that's a chapter. We were supposed to reply to questions, no? Is there any question? One question is, please guide, clarify, educate on science, AI, consciousness, sentience. This is not the forum for that. The other question is, I know myself, but how I am to be sure what I know is correct? This doubt comes a lot. Please let me know how I am certain of it. Third question, is mind without thoughts consciousness? Fourth question, can you please explain the terms Atman and Brahman? Anything else? Not yet. I am looking for something which will help us in sadhana. Okay, I will start with the first question, that is, I know myself, but how I am to be sure what I know is correct? This doubt comes a lot. Please let me know how I can be certain of it. See, when I say I know myself, what do I mean? Is it like the knowing anything else in the world? Whatever we know in the world, including the concept of Atma or Brahman also, generally I, the knower, and I am knowing something, the two are different. Whereas the knowledge of the self, when I know myself, it is not that kind of a knowledge, because it is I who know myself. I am not knowing anything different from me. So the first criteria of testing will be that how do I know myself? How did I know myself also? Is it that I know something as different from me? That in meditation I saw that the whole world vanished and it was only consciousness, or whatever, that I saw something. So that is what the self is. No. It has to be a self-revealing, where there will not be any subject-object difference, the knower-known difference, seer-seen difference. That is the primary criteria of knowledge of the self, that this difference should not be there. Whereas in all other things this difference will be there. Suppose many people meditate thinking that something called the self will rise in my mind and then I will become self-realized. It's not like that. Until we leave the tendency to look for something, why don't you come forward somewhere? Tendency to look for something different from me. Why this self, it eludes us so much. Everywhere we will find this. It is because right from birth we are given to see something different from me, know something different from me, hear something different from me. So that habitual seeing or knowing the world, that we extrapolate to self, knowing the self also. That we try to know the self as different from me. But by definition the self is what I am. So you cannot see it as different from me. But that is the common delusion or the mistake we have, that we feel that we will know like this. That is why it is not said also that a person is self-realized means that I have known the self. It is not knowing in that sense. In scriptural way of speaking, it is called Advaya knowledge, that is the non-dual knowledge. Why? Because in everything we see or know or hear something different from me. Whereas this is one singular case where this subject-object difference, the see-seen difference, know-unknown difference is not there. So it is not that kind of a knowledge at all. So by its very nature, you won't have a doubt when you know. There won't be any doubt at all. Because it's very different in its character, where the subject-object difference is not there. Does it clarify or you want further elaboration? You can go further by saying that why it is so different, so difficult then. It is not difficult at all because everybody knows himself. Without the I, there cannot be any experience at all. You think of the dream also. Even in dream, without the I being there, there cannot be any dream vision also. Whenever we are seeing anything in the world, any experience is had, that I is first there, and that I is the self. But still we are not convinced about it. So why it is that we are not able to get to it, that even in meditation, those who have a blissful experience of samadhi and all, they also are deluded about it. Because what you have find in samadhi, when you are out of samadhi, it is not there. So how can it be self? Self is always the self. If you have discovered the self in samadhi, and out of the samadhi you miss it, then it is not the self. These are the tests to be done. Suppose I say that why it is difficult. This, let us say this microphone. What I am knowing is not the microphone as it appears in my consciousness. Is it not so? Until it appears in the consciousness, we will not know it. Suppose there are so many atoms, particles and air and all, we are not knowing them because they are not appearing in our consciousness, is it not? The whole world, so many things we are not knowing. Anything to know, it has to appear in our consciousness. But the problem is that the moment something appears in our consciousness, our focus goes to the what is appearing. We miss the consciousness. It is like seeing the whole ocean, focusing on the waves, not knowing the ocean. It is exactly like that. In that ocean of consciousness, we call it Chit Samudra or Chaitanya Samudra, that conscious ocean, conscious space. In that everything is appearing. But right from childhood, we are habituated to see only small things. That is the constriction of our mind. So we are always focusing on what is appearing in the consciousness. We miss the consciousness. Suppose a thought has appeared, say your office thought. Now immediately the focus is on the office. Where the office is appearing. Even in dream also, it is in the mind, it is appearing. But the moment anything appears, our focus is on that. So we miss the consciousness. In our Upanishad, it is very clearly mentioned everywhere, but particularly it comes to my mind is Kenopanishad, where it is said, Pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hi vindate atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate amritam. The first line says, Pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hi vindate. When we come to know of this, in pratibodha, in every experience, every perception, then you become immortal. When you come to know this, in every perception, then you realize your own immortality. How? Because that consciousness, there cannot be any experience without that consciousness. Everything is appearing there. Even if it is a so-called unconscious state, unconscious means suppose by injection or by accident you have become unconscious. Coming out of that, you are feeling that for some time at least I did not know anything. That means it's a no signal state, we can call it. No? No signal state. Even that no signal state is revealed by the consciousness. It was there, otherwise we would not have known the discontinuity in our experience. That is also an experience. Experiencing unconsciousness is also an experience, and which is being created by, which is being revealed by the consciousness only. So every pratibodha viditam matam, when we come to know in every perception this Atma or consciousness or Brahman, whatever you may call it, then we understand that this is what I am, that your question is coming there. This is what I am. And that I never dies, never gets born, it is never changing at all. Whatever is appearing in that I, it is, everything is changeful, perishable. Now, some thought as America has appeared, next time something else will appear, sometimes a dog will appear, next time the dog will not be there, some human being will be there. They are all coming and going, coming and going. But everything is taking place in that ocean of consciousness, which never changes at all. That is why they say, Amritatvam hi bindati. We are already immortal, but we don't know. We don't know because we are not seeing our immortality. We are given to see only small things. Do you want me to go further still? Still. Then the question will be there, why is it that we are not able to? Where is the shoe pinching? Where is the thorn? The problem is our This you will not accept mostly, but you have to accept if you want. The problem is our bhogeccha. That is the tendency to enjoy. We are always out to enjoy the world. So even when the Guru initiates you and you meditate, and one day or that day itself, you happen to experience a blissful experience you have, then every day you would like to have that blissful experience, and it will not happen. As long as you are looking for the blissfulness, it will not come. But still we will go on. This is our bhoga. So far we were after the worldly bhoga. Bhoga means enjoyment, whatever we read. So far we were after the worldly bhoga. Now being a spiritual person, getting initiated by the Guru, we are doing meditation for the meditational bhoga. So we miss the self there also. We catch hold of that blissfulness, and we are so enamored of that we forget the whole path and the goal, everything. Our Baba had once written that you are walking on a highway and one after another milestones are passing. Then at one point you find a milestone made of gold. Will you hug that milestone and remain there, stop walking? It is like that. So, it is extremely difficult to get over our tendency to enjoy. That is why we are looking for the second. This is beautifully explained in all our Upanishads also. That Brahma wanted to become two. The moment you become two, you are attracted to something, or you are fearful of something, or hateful of something. So the whole world play starts from there. So as long as we are not able to get rid of our ragadvesha, that is clinging to what I like and hating what I dislike, or intolerant about what I dislike, it won't happen. This clinging to what I like and being intolerant of what I dislike, it gives rise to all sorts of expectation in our heart. So, if you really progress in the path of spirituality, you will find the last deterrence will be very, very subtle expectations, fear, etc. Fear also. As in Gaudapada Karika it is said that Yoginaha bibhyati hyasmat abhaye bhayadarshinaha. Swamiji must have told you that then. Huh? Yoginaha bibhyati hyasmat abhaye bhayadarshinaha. In the last stage, you are about to transcend your smallness of your identity. That we consider our egoistic I, body, mind, limited I is our identity. That is what I am. So, whereas I is the all-pervading in which the whole universe is appearing to be, that consciousness is what I is. So, if you are about to transcend that small I and land into the universal I, you will start feeling I am going to die. Because we are so much clinging to this body-mind personality identity, which is small, absolutely useless, but still we hold on to that so much that we don't want to get over that, transcend that. This transcendence, people think that it is, I am going to die. So out of fear they come back from there. Yogina, even the yogis, they are fearful of this abhaya. Abhaya means the non-dual is the abode of fearlessness. They become fearful of reaching the abode of fearlessness. It is only just because we have got used to this smallness so much and the corresponding enjoyment, and which gives rise to the expectation and fear. We will find that very, very subtle expectations are there. Suppose one morning getting up we feel that the mind is not cheerful today. Why it is not cheerful? Oh, today I have to speak some unpleasant thing to somebody. Being a good person, we would not like to speak anything unpleasant to somebody. But you need, when you are working in this world, suppose in the ashram you are managing the servants, the workers, you have to speak unpleasant things also, which they may not like often. So to face that situation, we have a reluctance. That is also some sort of expectation. That non-expectation means whatever has to be done, you will do. We should be ready to face everything. But such subtle sense of expectation, fear, everything is there, which hinders us from becoming absolutely free, which we are actually. बहुत कुछ बता दिया और तो जरूरत नहीं है. Do it. Free, it means wherever we are clinging to, we have to get over that. हाँ, the clinging है तो उसको निकालना चाहिए. There is a very simple way. It is the same thing again, looking at it from other way. The medicine for all is surrender. Because even when we are meditating and we want to become self-realized or anything, it means we have not surrendered. We are trying to attain something with our own willpower, with our own intelligence, own mind, and so, with our ego, basically. As long as the easiest way is to surrender the ego. Just to sit and tell your guru or God or whatever you are doing, if guru is their guru, I don't want anything, I don't know anything. Please take me where you feel is the most auspicious goal for me. Take me there. I don't know anything. If we can surrender in that manner, then the ego gets dissolved and it happens. That is the easiest way. That is why you will find in Patanjali Yoga Darshana, Yoga Sutras, after, if maybe the number a little wrong, I heard, about 20 Yoga Sutras, he is saying, Ishvara pranidhanatva. After 19 or 20 sutras, he is saying, do this, by this klesha will go, that will go, this trouble will go, that trouble will go. Lot of discussions, huge. Each sutra contains so many things. After all the discussions, he says, Ishvara pranidhanatva. Pranidhana means surrender. Prakrishta nidhana, surrender. That is, do all this or simply, completely surrender your ego to God. Can you please explain the terms Atman, Brahman? Why did you miss Paramatman? Bhagavan also we could have added. That in Bhagavatam there is a beautiful shloka. Vadanti tat tattva vidaha tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. Vadanti tat tattva vidaha. Tattva vidaha means those who know the truth. Tattva means as the essence, what is the essence of this whole world. They say, Vadanti tat tattva vidaha. What do they say? Tattvam yajnanam advayam. There is something called non-dual knowledge. Just now I spoke about it. Advaya Jnana. That is the essence of all. That is the truth, tattva. Brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. This same Advaya Jnana which is nothing but the I. When we say Advaya Jnana, you will think something else is there as Advaya Jnana. Advaya Jnana is what we are referring to as the I. That is the Advaya Jnana. That is what the consciousness is. That is what is referred to as Brahman, as the whole substratum of the whole universe on which our consciousness, you can say. Brahmeti Paramatmeti, that is the supreme self of spirituality, because normally we start with the Atma which is within us. Oh, you could have added quite a few. Pratyagatma is there. The Atma is within us, so it is limited by each body. Actually it is not. Which is limited by the body-mind personality is called Jiva-Atma. The Atma, the word itself means Atati Vyapnoti iti Atma, which is all-pervading. Atma cannot be two even. Even one is wrong, because when you say one, there is a concept of two and many. It is transcending that oneness also. So Atma refers to that non-dual only. So Paramatma, generally because we also religiously we think of the Atma as something small here, when we realize that that Atma is not limited by my body-mind personality, but that is the universal Atma of all, then we call it Paramatma. Actually there is no difference at all. The difference is in our knowledge, that we don't know that it is the universal. When we know, we call it Paramatma. So he says, Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti shabdyate. In religion, that itself is called Bhagavan. But we start with Bhagavan as if somebody is sitting in the yonder sky, moving the whole world from there. Then when we become a little mature, the religion itself tells that he is all-pervading. So why are you thinking of him sitting in some other loka? He is right within your heart. And all the Upanishads, they also say the same thing. So we try to feel Bhagavan in our heart. And who is there in our heart? That I is same. So it is the same I we discovered. But when we start looking at the I, looking within us, see, when we start finding that I, where shall we look? Shall we look there on the sky? Because I is right within. So we start looking within. That is why it is called Pratyagatma. That means looking within, we have to trace that I. But truly speaking, when we reach that point, we understand that it is not within without anything. That is the consciousness in which everything is appearing to be. It's not within also. In start of our practice, we start looking within. That when you reach there, the body itself, the body is part of the world. Body is also created by nature. It is a product of nature. As the whole world is appearing in the consciousness, body is a part appearing in that consciousness. So that Pratyagatma becomes Atma, and that itself becomes Paramatma. And when we think of the whole universe, the substratum of it, that Paramatma is the substratum of the universe. Why? In the beginning I said that the whole world is appearing in the consciousness. What we are knowing is whatever is appearing in the consciousness. So that is called the Brahman. In reference to the whole universe, it is called Brahman. Actually, they are not different at all. All are same. Atma, Paramatma, Brahman, they are all same. It depends on how far we are progressing to know. Is it okay? Is mind without thoughts consciousness? Mind without thoughts, consciousness. Mind with thoughts also is consciousness. Mind without thoughts, whether we will call it mind, I don't know. Suppose you are having Jada Samadhi, as we call. That is, there is no thought at all. You don't come to know anything. So that is the you are without thought at that point. But will you call it mind or call it mindless sthiti? It depends on you what you call it. So the better expression will be the mind is an expression of the consciousness. Whether thoughts are there or no thoughts are there, both are consciousness. Why no thoughts are there? That just now I said that suppose you have an accident or you have been given an injection, you are so-called unconscious. That is a thoughtless state. But the consciousness is still there. Not the awareness. Awareness is not there. But you are knowing that you don't have awareness. That is the consciousness. And when the thoughts are there, the thoughts are coming in the mind only. But do you have any other way in asking this? I mean, what is your, does it reply or you want to know something else? Huh?
I think the sense of I.
Sense of?
I. Originates first in the mind.
We are knowing when it is in the mind. When the mind expresses the I, we are coming to know. But without mind also we will know. That when there is no thought, we will know that sea of consciousness. Its better way to think of it is that suppose the ocean, it has waves, but without the waves also it is ocean, if it was possible without waves. Like that. There might be thoughts, there may not be thoughts. Our problem is that we want to spot that consciousness being cleared of thought. But it is not really necessary. The thoughts are also just waves in the consciousness. In meditation you can go that way also. It's not that you always will have to be free of thoughts. That's a much harder way. There's more wholesome ways to know that it is, the thoughts are in that only. Then you will feel the wholeness of it. Can you know the ocean or the waves without ocean? There cannot be any waves without ocean. What is the difference between Jiva and Atma? I assume that the Jiva is what is that? By the rules of karma, and the jiva takes rebirth. We will come to that. It will become too much. If it's a body that is born and the body that dies, should one do Shraadha for our forefathers or any rituals? See, these rituals, Shraadha, Punarjanma, etc., they are meant for all the people, for the wide range of people. Our religion is based on 4 pillars. What are they? One is God, one is the theory, the model of rebirth, Punarjanma, then the karma theory, and the concept of heaven and hell. These are the 4 pillars. They are all interlinked. And it is not all just trash. It is meant to bridle the society, keep the society on track, on good path. Suppose It's a very common question that, Swamiji, I have been throughout my life living an honest life, but suffering for various reasons here and there. But the other person he is referring to, he has been dishonest right from the beginning, but he is flourishing. What is this justice of God? They will say that, oh, you don't know, it is all according to the karma. Because in the past life you have done this. You can say, you can project your whatever story you want to manufacture also, that you did this, you did that. And you are suffering because of that, as the causal chain of the karma. But if you now do good things only, as you are doing now, in the next life you will find that you will be very comfortable, have all the good things in the next life. Whereas the other person who has done very good things in the past life, and he is only, that punya he is spending by in this life doing wrong things. You don't know, for the work, whatever he is doing now, in the next life he is going to be fried in hot oil with 1600 and pins coming from all sides. And he will make his story about it. Now in this, there is nothing wrong, because nothing can be proved or disproved. They are taking the advantage of certain concepts which can never be proved, never be disproved. But they are utilizing it for a very good cause. By telling the first person you did something good in the past life, bad in the past life, now you are doing good, you will have a better life in future. That means you continue to do good, do even better. They are making him do good things. The other case also, you are now doing bad things, not knowing that the next life what kind of torture you are going to have. So change your habit, do good things so that next life becomes good. So they are only trying to put people on the auspicious track. And if we try to explain the theory, explain the concept of Atma, soul, Brahman and all, who is going to understand? You can see how many people are here. Of the whole lakhs and crores of people who are listening to this, they are not ready to listen to all these useless things. They want to have their life proper. So, it is, religious codes are meant for bridling the society, keep the society on auspicious track. They are not bad, they are not to be completely denounced. But certainly when a person takes to the path of truth, spiritual path of truth, exploring the truth, discovering the truth, he has to transcend all these things. The religious codes have to be transcended. What Shankaracharya says is that in Bhagavad Gita Bhashya, Brahma Sutra Bhashya also, he says that Swargadau Anubhava Anarudhe Shanka Syat Asti Va Navaiti. Swargadau means Swarga, Naraka, Punarjanma, etc. All Adau. Swargadau Anubhava Anarudhe. That means they are not experiential. Arudha means, which is Anubhava, Arudha means experiential. Anarudha means non-experiential. Has anybody called you from the Swarga that you come here, I am in the Sarga, you see? No such event is there. So you cannot prove that there is Swarga. Similarly, can you disprove that there is Swarga? Nobody can say. So these are concepts, Punarjanma, Swarga, Naraka, all these are concepts which neither can be proved nor can be disproved, because they are non-experiential. So he says, Swarga adau anubhava anarudhe shanka syat. Shanka means doubt. Always there will be doubt whether it is there or not. Asti va na va iti. Whether it is there or not. Anubhava arudham tu jnana phalam. But whatever you are gaining through the knowledge of the Upanishads, knowledge of the truth, it is all experiential. So, For a seeker, you leave all the non-experiential things and devote only to the experiential things. Because the whole knowledge is based on experiences. Various kinds of, everything is experience and knowledge. Even suppose when we are saying that you get over your, or say the acceptance. It is non-acceptance which is putting your mind in stress, under stress. You are suffering because of non-acceptance of a situation. You accept it, immediately you will feel the relief it is giving. I always say that press the acceptance button. Immediately you will feel the more is the stress, the greater will be the relief when you accept it. What has happened, can you walk back in time? So it is only our foolishness that we don't accept. Acceptance doesn't mean that you will not work for the redress. You can work for the redress, but with an agitated mind which is not accepting, mind will be agitated. With an agitated mind, will you be able to work more efficiently or less efficiently? You will be most efficient when mind is absolutely peaceful and calm. So by acceptance, your mind will immediately become free, calm and restful. So the solution will be right there perhaps. Because of the agitation, we don't see the solutions. Whenever something has gone wrong, because the mind is agitated, we are not seeing the simple solution in front. So, you have to practice it to know it. The moment you test it once, you will get the experience. It is experiential. What is the knowledge there? That the mind is cluttered by worldliness, desires, non-acceptance, fear, etc. The mind remains cluttered. You remove those things, the mind becomes free and wide and vast, and you get it is experiential. And more you expand your mind, make it infinitude, make it infinite, you get the joy of the sky-like joy of soul. The mind becomes more and more like the soul. Actually, there is soul, we don't have to do anything. It is already there with all its qualities. We have to only cultivate the soul dimensions in our mind and intelligence. So the mind becomes like the soul. The more and more the mind comes closer to the soul, we become like the soul. We get the joy of freedom of the soul, the unaffectedness of the soul. Whatever we study for the Atman, all these become true of us. Yeah, why did I speak all these things? Oh, about Shraadha and all that. Anubhava arudham tu jnana phalam. That I was still. Huh?
What were the four concepts, Swamiji? God, Karma,
The pillars. God, Punarjanma, then the theory of karma and Swarga Naraka. All are interrelated. See, this karma, people say karma is nothing other than causality. Cause and effect chain. Nothing different from causality. But the causality, what we see is very gross causality. That if I don't push the table will not move. If I pull it this way, it will move this way. These are all visible causality. But there are many subtle causalities which we are not careful about, and we cannot go into it also to that extent. Suppose mental causality, if you look into it, is it not, even what you are hearing here for the last week or so, is it not producing some change in your mindset, the thought process? Every interaction is changing the mind, our thought process. Is it not causality? But we won't be able to trace everything that because of this that has happened, but more or less broadly we will be. Similarly, suppose let us think of an ocean or sea. You see a wave now. can you trace that this wave now is the effect of the wave just 1 second before in the sea? There are hundreds of ways getting in and creating this. And not only that, it is not just 1 second. If you go back to eternity, any length of time behind, they are also causing this. Sometimes some wind, some storm came and that started this. We cannot trace it. So even for a material object like wave, we cannot trace the causal chain. The cause and effect chain we cannot trace. So what to speak of human mind, human life, where every interaction, every thought is changing. Even what you are thinking now is causing the next wave of thought. Compared with the sea, but it is much, much more subtle and complicated. Everything is caused by the prior interactions and prior thoughts or so, is it not? How will you find out what has caused this or not? Broadly, we can say it is a heredity. So many of the qualities you can trace back that, oh, I have got this quality from my father, I have got this quality from my grandmother or grandfather, or maximum 1 or 2 generations you can say. Very broadly. But subtle things and so many things, it is all karma. That is why people refer to it as karma. Karma means it is all a flow of cause and effect chain. As in the sea, the waves are the cause and effect chain. It is in the whole universe of our mind, the cosmic mind. It's a cosmic mind where, because you cannot isolate. Suppose I am speaking to you. Is it not my mind is interacting with your mind? Like that, thousands and lakhs of minds are interacting. Can you isolate them that this is the cause of this, that is the cause of this? It's all together. It's just flowing out of the whole cosmic chain. So that is what is meant by karma. It is so deep in its causal meaning. But people use it in exactly the reverse way. When something they have done which is wrong, they will say my karma, or which they do not like. Is it not? Karma means fate there. It is not so. The whole karma theory is to make you responsible for anything happening in your life. You cannot say it is my fate. Everything is your own karma. Because of that the karma is given, not to say avoid your responsibility and say that it is my karma, my fate. You understand that you are responsible for everything and do it in a manner that you have a good life and it is contributing to the world. So, that is what it is. So, whether you will do Shraadha or not, it is up to you. By not doing Shraadha, if your mind is penalized and later on you say, this Swamiji had told me not to do Shraadha and see now I am suffering by the ghost and all pitris are coming and you do it. It's not, if you feel, this is actually adding a karma. Let us go a little deeper, these are very important. Suppose most of the cases, we are not looking after our parents properly. Properly means that is only possible, that is, the life doesn't permit us to fulfill all their wishes and all. Suppose the father is suffering from acute diabetes and maybe in the deathbed and wants to take some very good sweets that day. See, he will not give it because it will be harmful. Something he will say harshly which he would get hurt and all. Then the father dies and you say that day I could have given him the rasgulla. What was the harm? After, by eating rasgulla, let him die. By missing rasgulla, why should he die? So, when anybody dies, it goes on, you will remember only such things where you have given him pain or hurt or so. Is it not true? So what they are suggesting is you do Shraadha, you give whatever the father liked and all, feed him and all, so that your mind gets settled. See, your mind has done something wrong and it is suffering because of that. What the Pandit is doing or the astrologer is doing is adding one more karma to that. Do this homa. So it's adding a new karma in the flow of your mind. And your mind will start thinking in a different manner. I have done this, so it's done. You feel comfortable. It's all with a great ingenious way of our people have done all these things. If you understand, then you don't have to do. You understand the truth and you behave accordingly. But otherwise it is all meant to give us solace, meant to give us more stability. So you do it accordingly. Somebody is suffering greatly in his mind. You go to the Pandit, they will say that you do this homa, do this, do that, and then this graha will be satisfied, that ketu will be satisfied, many things. It might be true, may not be true also, it doesn't matter. But the fact is that he is adding a new coordinate to the flow of your mind, by which your mind will come to a better stability. Oh, what is wrong there? Nothing wrong. If you need it, if you can make your mind stable without anything, fine. That is what the jnana does. A few are remaining, I will take up tomorrow, which needs a little greater discussion also, if necessary. This AI consciousness, sentience, if possible, tomorrow I will show a slide explaining this. What is that consciousness we mean in spirituality? When we are talking about the chetana, chit, there is lot more clarity is needed. So tomorrow, if I miss, you remind me, I would like to discuss about it. We have three kinds of akashavis. Akasha means space. In spirituality, akasha is sky, but akasha means actually space. That one is called bhahyakasha, then chittakasha, and then chidakasha. So bhahyakasha is the outer space as we see the whole world. Chittakasha is the mind space, where the thoughts are all, concepts, everything is there. And chidakasha is the consciousness, the chaitanya, the conscious space, which we are referring to as Atman or anything. Now, when you think a little deeper about the bhahyakasha, the world, where are you seeing the world? It appears to be outside the body-mind personality, but is it not the world which is appearing in our mind or consciousness? So in the chittakasha, one part is the bhahyakasha, another is the antarakasha. That in the chittakasha itself, bhahyakasha is telescoped into. When you go further, where is this chittakasha? The whole mind is appearing. It is in that ocean, as I said, the ocean of consciousness, which is called chidakasha. So, we refer to the consciousness as the universal consciousness. Normally in science, by consciousness we mean it is a product of our body-mind personality, of our body, let us say, of our brain. In science, the consciousness is a product of the body. So it is origin is limited to the body. Whereas in spirituality, this consciousness we know, mark these words and try to think well, in which the whole universe is appearing. What is that universe? The universe which contains this body-mind personality as a small speck also, is it not? Body-mind personality is a product of nature, product of the universe. This whole universe is appearing in the mind, in the consciousness. That is what we refer to as consciousness. To give a little more clarity, I have discussed it earlier also, the mirror example, generally we speak about that. Suppose sunlight is coming. You put a small mirror in that light. The light will be reflected, going here. With that reflected beam, you can see the objects of the world, rotating the mirror and all. Now, you can put thousands of mirrors in that light. Each will have its own reflected beam with which the world can be seen. Now, suppose the mirror thinks that this reflected beam is originating from me. Is the mirror right or not? Why? The original light is somewhere else. This is what we are doing. We are thinking that the consciousness is coming out of our body-mind personality. Actually, the body-mind personality is only transferring or reflecting the consciousness which is everywhere. So suppose there are different mirrors reflecting the same light and having its own so-called consciousness corresponding to individual consciousness, corresponding to each mirror. If the mirror breaks or it becomes opaque because of some reason, that reflected light will go. Is it not? That is what we die. When we die, that awareness is no more there, which we call the Jivatma has died. Or we don't say that, but actually it is so. Nothing has happened to the light coming from the original light. Has anything happened by the destruction of one mirror or even 1,000 mirrors dying? Nothing happens to the original light. So that is what the real Atma is. Does it give you some clarity? Bolo.
When that one light goes out, the Jivatma dies. Doesn't the body die?
Yes, because of the body. We call Jivatma, nobody says, but the body dies actually.
No, but when the consciousness is gone, the body is gone.
Yes, yes.
Just to repeat, when I heard the word Jivatma is gone, when that light is gone, I was just wondering whether the only body is gone and the eternal self.
No, the body is gone. What I wanted to mean here is the reflected light also is gone. That is the Jivatma part of it. What happens is that the original light remains. The Jivatma gets mixed with the Paramatma. And what we try to do in our meditation or self-realization is, what do we have to do? We have to find out who is that I, who am I, is it not? So, as we are looking at the world with my consciousness, we are trying to turn the mirror towards the original light. That is, normally we are looking at the world. To know the self, we are withdrawing from the world and looking within to find out where from that I-ness is coming. When we have actually been able to turn the mirror to the original light, what happens to the reflected light? It has merged with the original light. That is why we say initially it is Pratyagatma, it is individual, but when you really discovered the real light, it is all same. It has got mixed with that.
Good
So we should no more be afraid of the Jivatma dying. By the Jivatma dying, you will become the Paramatma. Let it die as early as possible, no?
Thank you for the explanation.
Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nitya bodhasvarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sadanusmarami pranomi. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nitya bodhasvarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sadanusmarami pranomi. Hari.